Have you ever wondered why movies resonate so deeply with all of us? Ye Jawaani Hai Deewani is a movie that has recently been released. It's a story of reflection of our lives. It shows struggles, dreams, relationships, and in today's video, we dive deep into the psychology behind it. You will realize how much movies teach us about our own human mind. Hello, my dearest luminers. Welcome to the Laalttain, a venture to psychoeducate India. I am Prriyanka Kharrb, a practicing psychologist, and I'm obsessed with psychology, spirituality, and everything that helps us grow and glow from within. I want you all to deeply understand your mind so that you can live more meaningful and fulfilling lives. Cinema's greatest power is its ability to show us what we see in ourselves. Ye Jawaani Hai Deewani is not just a rom-com. It's a guide to understanding human behavior and growth. Today we explore the film story psychologically. What you can understand from this video is to know Bunny's fear of commitment and its psychological roots, Nana's transformation from a closed introvert to a confident girl, the importance of friendship in healing and journey of your life, and finally, the psychology of ambition, balancing it with relationships. These actionable insights will help you to grow in your own journeys. Let's begin. Alright, so first off, Bunny's fear of commitment. Kabir Thapar, aka Bunny, is a quintessential dreamer, adventurous, ambitious, and constantly chasing the next thrill. But Bunny's thirst for freedom hides the fear of commitment. Remember that scene where he tells Nana,
मैं उड़ना चाहता हूँ नैना, दौड़ना चाहता हूँ, गिरना भी चाहता हूँ, बस रुकना नहीं चाहता.
I want to see the world and I just can't stay here. This reflects an avoidant attachment style, one of the key attachment styles defined by a psychologist, John Bowlby. Bowlby's theory of attachment explains how early interactions with caregivers shape our ability to form relationships later in our adult lives. So there are a few types of attachments that he proposed. One is the avoidant. Avoidant individuals often grew up in environments where showing vulnerability didn't lead to comfortable and secure situations. As a result, they value independence over closeness, seeing emotional intimacy as risky. In Bunny's case, his constant need to move reflects the fear of emotional dependence, even though he deeply values his relationships. Attachment theory outlines three more styles. The second one is secured attachment style. Well, individuals with secure attachment experience consistent caregiving and in their childhood, leading to very healthy relationships marked by trust and emotional availability. Think of Nana and her ability to balance her independence with the growing affection of Bunny. We can say that she may be having this type of attachment. Well, the third attachment style is called anxious attachment style. This style stems from inconsistent caregiving, leaving individuals craving closeness but also fearing rejection. If Aditi had clung to AV post her unreciprocated love, she might have displayed anxious tendencies, though her character shows remarkable growth later on. The fourth and the last attachment style is called disorganized attachment style, a less common but more complex style, often associated with chaotic or traumatic early experiences as a child. Disorganized individuals struggle with conflicting desires for closeness but then also desire distance. So the attachment styles theory was further explored by many psychologists like Harry Harlow and Mary Ainsworth. I particularly would like to share with you all Mary Ainsworth's strange situation experiment, which demonstrated how children reacted when separated and reunited with their caregivers, mostly parents. Picture this. A cozy playroom with toys scattered around. A mother and her infant enter the room, and at first everything seems normal. The baby explores while keeping an eye on the mother. Then a stranger enters the room. The baby hesitates, unsure of the new presence. The mother then leaves the room and suddenly the baby's world shifts. Some cry and cling to the mother upon her return, and others seem indifferent. And few even show confusion or mixed reactions. This setup allowed Ainsworth to categorize attachment styles and behaviors into styles like secure, avoidant, and anxious. Her findings demonstrated the crucial role of a caregiver's consistency and responsiveness in shaping attachment styles for the babies, showing us how early experiences profoundly impact our relational patterns later on. In Bunny's case, his avoidance tendencies create a push and pull dynamic with Nana. This dynamic stems from Bunny's internal conflict, the need for independence clashing with his unspoken desire for connection. This fear of closeness often originates in childhood experiences, where vulnerability may not have been met with support or safety. Children who grow up in such environments may learn to suppress emotional needs and rely solely on themselves, valuing control over vulnerability. This pattern can persist into adulthood as well, leading to struggles in forming deep emotional bonds with other adults. Now, next up is Naina's transformation and her journey. Naina Talwar starts as a shy, introverted woman, hesitant to take risks and inexperienced in life. In psychological terms, she exhibits signs of social introversion, a term often misunderstood. Socially, introverts prefer meaningful, low stimulation environments and recharge through solitude, unlike extroverts who gain energy through social interactions. Carl Jung in the 1920s first introduced the concepts of introversion and extroversion, emphasizing that neither is better but both exist on a spectrum. Later, Hans Eysenck expanded on these ideas, integrating them into the model of personalities in 1940s. Eysenck proposed that introversion and extroversion are biologically rooted and linked to differences in the cortisol arousal inside our brains. Introverts have higher baseline arousal, which is why they seek quieter environments, while extroverts thrive in stimulating settings. The scene where Naina nervously tells her parents about the Manali trip marks her first step towards exposure and growth. Her journey highlights that the principle of self-efficacy, basically feeling efficient about our own ability, proposed by Albert Bandura, explained that gaining experiences and mastering challenges builds confidence and self-assurance. Naina's gradual exposure to new environments and challenges reshapes her self-perception, enabling her to embrace life with confidence. Alright guys, I want to correct certain misconceptions here about the terms introvert and extrovert. Many of us use these two words as fixed labels, but Jung emphasized that most people are ambiverts, possessing both the traits depending on the situation and their mood. Naina's story shows us how exposure and self-efficacy can help introverts or socially hesitant individuals to grow out of their comfort zone and become very confident. In the next section, let's explore how emotional intimacy in friendship is so beautifully depicted in this very movie. One of the most remarkable aspects of Ye Jawaani Hai Deewani is its portrayal of group friendships, a dynamic that brings unique challenges and rewards. The movie beautifully shows how friendships evolve over a period of time. Aditi and Bunny share a bond that even the distance never impacts. They pick up right where they left off despite the years that they spent apart. In contrast, Bunny and Avi's friendship faces a strain due to a lack of communication, highlighting how unresolved feelings can create emotional distance even in the closest of friends. In psychology, the concept of group dynamics explains the importance of such friendships. Kurt Lewin, a pioneer in social psychology, basically that version of psychology that deals with the psychology of group dynamics, emphasized that being a part of a group provides a sense of belongingness, reduces loneliness, and fosters emotional feelings. Group friendships, like those in the movie, serve as a support system where each member contributes to the collective well-being of all. Philosophy also speaks to the depth of these bonds. Like Aristotle referred to friendship as a single soul dwelling in two bodies, emphasizing the transformative power of emotional connection. Similarly, in Indian mythology, Lord Krishna and Draupadi's friendship is exemplifying trust, guidance, and unconditional support in the epic story of Mahabharata. Qualities seen in Bunny and Aditi's relationship. Okay, so let's understand this with a relatable example. Think of your own friend group. Maybe you have a bunny who disappears for years but is still your go-to in moments of need. Or you have an Avi who feels unspoken resentment but struggles to communicate. Recognizing and addressing these dynamics in your own group can really help you strengthen the bond. A very important lesson that we get to learn here: group friendships can act as anchors in life's uncertainties. They remind us that communication, trust, vulnerability are key to keeping these bonds intact. Make time for your group, be it through smallest gestures of honest conversations, because these friendships shape your emotional well-being and resilience. In the fourth section of this video, we talk about the psychology of ambition. Well, Bunny's drive to travel the world showcases an intrinsic motivation, basically a motivation that comes from within, pursuing a goal for personal excitement rather than external rewards. However, the movie also highlights the cost of unbalanced ambition. Remember the scene when Bunny learns of his father's death and struggles to express grief? This reflects an over-prioritizing of goals can lead to emotional disconnect. A relatable example just for you guys: if you have ever felt torn between career goals and maintaining relationships, you're not alone. It's crucial to recognize when ambition begins to overshadow emotional well-being. After all, guys, we have to understand that this entire journey of whatever years that we are living in these bodies is meant for having an overall wholesome experience of life, not a very skewed, one-sided, only experience ambition but then don't experience intimacy. It should have some kind of balance to be able to make a meaningful life out of your entire journey. This is what my personal opinion is. So the lesson from this part is that ambition is essential, yes, but so is nurturing relationships, even the relationships that you meet during your ambition fulfillment. Balance is key. Bunny's journey is a perfect example of cognitive restructuring in psychology. Initially, he views love and freedom as opposites, but by the end, he challenges this belief and realizes that both of them can coexist. So there is a shift in the mindset that is the common outcome of introspection and therapy. This is why therapy is so important nowadays. Well, the solution is that if you're grappling with similar dilemmas, journaling or seeking therapy can help you identify and change limiting beliefs so that you can live a more open-minded life ahead. At last, we come to Priyanka's bonus insights. Well, through Bunny, Naina and her friends, Ye Jawaani Hai Deewani teaches us the balance between dreams and relationships, the courage to step out of our comfort zones and value emotional intimacy. One takeaway that is particularly most important for me is that, they let go of the lost time in relationships. What do I mean by that? See how in the end Naina did with Bunny. Instead of indulging in a blame game about wasted years, she chose to pick up from where they left off and focused on the present moment. This, according to me, is very important. Most of us, when we have our second chances, we usually get very stuck up on, agar hum ye kar lete us time pe, to itna time waste na hota, agar tum ye karte. We get into all of those things, but I feel all of us have these parallel journeys if Bunny wouldn't have had those experiences, wouldn't have had the cognitive restructuring, he wouldn't have been the person he finally ended up being. So it was very important for him to take his own journey, and so did Naina. And when they finally came back, they didn't really analyze the lost time, and they let that go and functioned from wherever they could pick up from. This for me is really, really cool. So as I said, this movie is not just entertainment, it's a mirror to our struggles and growth. Well, Luminers, if you enjoyed this deep dive into Ye Jawaani Hai Deewani and its psychological layers, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Laalttain. Leave a comment below and tell me which character do you relate to the most and why. Also, if there's a movie you want me to analyze next, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep glowing.